My honest answer is don't.
Fred Tolerico is the founder of Junkin Hall, who spent $30,000 to move 1,800 miles, sinking everything into a dream just months before a global pandemic hit.
And it was just, I'm not moving back to Pennsylvania right now. I'm not going to quit this. You have no choice. When we were definitely broke. Our first year, we were broke. We weren't here in Colorado enjoying the high life. Like, we went on a lot of hikes. We spent a lot of time outdoors. That's cheap, luckily.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just like go time the second we hit the ground. And it was just desperation, like, hey, we can't go back. I'm not going to quit after 3 months in business, and we have to make this work.
Welcome back to the COS Business Podcast, #1 podcast in Colorado Springs.
Today, our highlighted sponsor is Junkin Hall. You can find them at junkinhall.com, but check it out. We got someone special here today to also talk about Junkin Hall.
Yes,
Who
we
are they?
do. We definitely do. We have Fred Tolerico with Junkin Hall. How you doing, brother?
Great. You guys are good at that. Not even rehearsed.
Oh, yeah.
Came out so natural.
Yeah,
Wow.
Years of doing it. We're pretty good at doing it after a
No,
while.
I'm good though. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, brother.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, we're happy to have you here. And we hear a little bit of an East Coast accent in there too. So
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. I'm from Scranton. You ever watch The Office? You ever watch The Office? Okay. Funny thing, I actually sold paper. I told you that
No
when we
way.
first met. But I really sold paper in Scranton, Pennsylvania for 3 years. Great job. We kind of have like a Boston type thing going on, and we don't pronounce our T's. Like I don't say Scranton, it's Scranton. Scranton.
What about Mountain?
Mountain? Yeah,
Okay.
We don't say T's, man. Not where I'm from. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. So
yeah, brother. Well, we had a good coffee like 2 months ago.
has it been 2 months? I think May, right?
Yeah, it was like the end of May. Now it's the end of July, and we had a
Giant
great
blur.
conversation. You ended up being a sponsor, so thank you so much for one supporting us.
Yeah.
You
happy
don't have to do
be
that to
here.
get on the show.
Sorry
And,
it took so long to reply to those emails, man.
well, you're in busy
It's a
season,
busy season,
and
yeah.
so I
Yep.
cannot wait to get into the meat and potatoes
Cool.
of like your business and everything that you have going on with Junkin Hall. But let's start from the beginning. Like, talk
Sure.
to us about when you went to college and kind of what got you into the business world. So we'll start there.
I hopped around. I think I went to 4 schools in 5 years because I just didn't know what I wanted to do. Played D3 golf my first year at Wilkes University in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, which is just about a 10-mile drive down the road from Scranton. Transferred, went to a radiologic technology school for a year. Didn't like that. Wasted $23,000. That was terrible. And I ended up going to a junior college, Lackawanna College in Scranton for a year, played golf. We played in a JUCO national championship. That was really cool. My game got better probably by 30 strokes in 2 semesters that year. So that was good. I got better at golf. And then transferred to a D3 school for my last 2 years. So studied business every other year and marketing in my first year. So kind of the same thing. I look at it as, if I would go back and do it again, probably not. Knowing what I know now, I'd probably start this business out of high school, and I might be retired by now if I did. You live and you learn. Sold cars immediately out of college because I just didn't know what I wanted to do. Was decent at that. Actually made some good money my first summer doing that. Met a guy, and he gave me a job at a paper company, like I told you. And that was a great job, great company. Could have been a great career. After 3 years, I just kind of said I wanted to do my own thing. I've been married for 5 years now, but we've been dating since college. So my then girlfriend, now wife, we decided, okay, what can we do? I met somebody doing junk removal actually while I was bartending at a ski lodge on weekends because my wife's a nurse by trade. She stay at home right now, but at that point in time, she was working weekend nights and I just had nothing to do. So I'm like, I'll go make money, and I was bartending at a ski lodge in Allentown, Pennsylvania, just outside of Allentown, and met a guy doing junk removal. He kind of looked like he was having a good life. And I said, okay, that sounds interesting. And at the time, this is probably 7 years ago when I first got introduced to it, maybe 8, I can't remember. I'm like, well, that's interesting. All I knew was 1-800-GOT-JUNK. You guys probably know who they are, right?
Oh, yeah.
It didn't seem like a viable thing until you realize, there's junk everywhere. And, we looked at different cities across the country because I decided that if I'm going to do this, I'm not just going to be some guy with a pickup truck I'm not going to move 1,800 miles if it's not something that could provide a really good lifestyle for my family. And we visited here in September of 2019 and decided on our visit, let's go check out apartments. And I think we signed a lease that day, that weekend rather. We moved out here and about 2 months later. And we've been here for almost 6 years now. Pretty wild.
So you were just looking for a new place to just post up?
We, after learning a lot about the business and doing our research, we kind of figured out that you want to be somewhere where there's a heavy military presence because it's a transient population, right? And when people move, whether they're moving in or moving out, they have a lot of stuff
that needs to be left behind.
Yeah, in Colorado Springs, even aside from that, obviously 6 years ago, it's changed a little bit, but it was really fast growing at that point in time. And I think it still is. I haven't looked much into it. And the weather, relatively speaking, it's a mild climate, from Scranton, Pennsylvania to here. Back east, we're lucky if we get 110 days of sunshine a year. You guys get 110 days of sunshine even in the winter. So,
nice.
that it's proven to not be as consistent across the years I thought it would be coming into it. I'm not sure why that is, but we've still not regretted the decision one bit. Business is doing pretty well, all things considered. It's been 6 years of a shaky economy at this point. I feel like there's a new story every week that has people panicking.
Oh yeah.
So I'm waiting for things to normalize a little bit, but yeah, we're happy, man. We love it out here. It was between here, Phoenix, and Austin, Texas.
That's what I was going to ask next. Yeah.
I've been to Phoenix. I love it down there. I was down there in March for a golf trip. But after seeing the heat, no way. It would never happen. I'd feel terrible as an employer too, sending my guys out at 115 degrees. It wouldn't work. Austin's cool. I was there last September. My in-laws took us down on a trip for vacation. But too rainy.
Yeah, I like much more humid.
The humidity's terrible. I like the dry climate here for sure. So that's how we ended up in Colorado. Yeah.
I love it.
We'd like to take a quick break and thank our sponsors.
Pioneer Rodeo.
The Pioneer Rodeo is back August 15th through the 17th at Norris Penrose Event Center with 2 nights of rodeo and wild demolition derby finales.
Tickets go on sale June 1st. Details at pioneerrodeo.com.
Bolton Co. Executive Coaching.
Up feels better than stuck. You know that. But in this market, how do you get unstuck and get ahead as an executive?
Our guy, JB, is an executive coach at Bolton Co. Coaching, where he believes you don't have to change who you are. You just need an injection of effectiveness and a proven competitive edge roadmap for your way up. Head to boltonco.net. That's boltonco.net. ProLift Garage Doors. ProLift Garage Doors are your locally owned and operated residential and commercial garage door experts. From fast repairs and smooth replacements to routine tune-ups, they keep your doors running like new.
Go with the pros at ProLift Garage Doors.
Visit proliftdoors.com to learn more. Be Our Guest Getaways. Be Our Guest Getaways specializes in Disney cruise resort and theme park vacations.
Planning a Disney vacation can be stressful. Let Be Our Guest Getaways provide you with concierge-level service for free.
Learn more at beourguestgetaways.com. That's beourguestgetaways.com.
Planet Duct. Planet Duct is the #1 choice for professional air duct cleaning in Colorado Springs and Southern Colorado. With state-of-the-art equipment and top-tier service, they make sure the air in your home or business is clean and allergen-free. Breathe easier with Planet Duct. Learn more at planetduct.com.
Awesome Home Services. Awesome Home Services delivers top-notch HVAC solutions for your home. Whether you need heating, cooling, or system maintenance, they ensure your comfort year-round. Visit awesomeservice.com for your HVAC needs. That's awesomeservice.com.
Proud American Electrical and Solar.
Give Proud American Electrical and Solar a call today for all your electrical and solar needs. They are locally owned and operated business right here in Colorado Springs. If you're looking for information on solar, this is the company you will want to call. Check out their website at proudamericansolar.com. Use promo code COS Business for a 5% discount today.
Pinnacle Advanced Primary Care.
Pinnacle Advanced Primary Care offers affordable, accessible healthcare with a focus on you. They provide exceptional primary care without the hassle of insurance barriers. Experience a patient-centered approach. Learn more at pinnacleapc.com.
And now let's get back to the show. What an interesting time to come to Colorado, especially October 29th. It's kind of like Andrew. Andrew moved here
6 years ago.
Yeah, around that time. And
almost
just
7, or I can't count.
It's just interesting, especially during COVID time, right?
Dude, it was crazy. Yeah, we moved, uprooted our lives, spent $30,000, and got slapped in the face as soon as we got here with COVID. still, it's still been a great decision, all things considered. You know, maybe if I'd gotten a job at Apple, I'd be a little bit ahead of where we are now. I think about that quite often because entrepreneurship is definitely glamorized, and it's not as easy by a magnitude of about 10,000. You know, a lot of people think it's easy, and then you get slapped in the face day after day. You just got to keep going. So
what are some of the things that make you say that?
I would say, you know, I mean, it's unpredictable, right? COVID changed a lot. It changed the landscape of the economy. We've had a crazy amount of inflation since then. I think you predict how things are going to go, but it never goes how you think it's going to go. At least that's what I've learned. A lot of YouTube videos and gurus make it sound like you're going to make $1 million your first year in business, and you don't. So I think I've learned that you have to be patient and you have to work about 10 times harder than you probably thought you would. And it still might not pay off, but you just got to keep going anyways. That's probably the biggest lesson I've taken away. It's about getting slapped in the face and getting back up. You know, I think Rocky Balboa said something like that.
Oh yeah,
but, you know, he's from my neck of the woods. Philly. But yeah, that's all I got about that.
Yeah, man. That's well. I wanted to side note because you brought up golf, and I know we're reading up about you. And
oh God,
it was just funny.
Not much.
Just hilarious side note, but like, did you watch the new Happy Gilmore 2 movie yet?
We watched it last night. I'm not into that kind of cheesy comedy. I didn't even love the original one that much.
I didn't like the first one that much either.
I love Adam Sandler, but it was kind of like mediocre.
Yeah,
you know, it was more like I felt like I was watching a bunch of TikTok videos.
Interesting.
And I don't like that.
I haven't seen it yet, so that's interesting that you said
it was good to laugh. My wife laughed at it. We were up till like 1 a.m. last night watching it because the girls, they wouldn't go down to sleep last night, so it took a while to get it was all right.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a big like movie guy nowadays. We saw Jurassic World a couple weeks ago. That was pretty okay. But you know, I don't have too much time for TV.
Yeah.
College football season hits, different story. I love college basketball too. But yeah, Happy Gilmore was mediocre.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should say that or not. I know it's popular. But
cut it.
Yeah.
Clip it.
Yeah, it's interesting because they had like some of the real life new age golfers on.
Yeah, that was
really cool,
like
right?
There was. I mean, Fred Couples was there. John Daly had a pretty
They
decent
had some
role.
new ones, good.
Yeah.
My God, Jordan Spieth was in it. Rory was in it. Brooks Koepka, Scotty Scheffler.
So all the big guys today were
It
in
was cool
Yeah.
in that sense, and obviously they were poking fun at LIV. You know, the new golf league. I don't watch much pro golf. I love it, but I just don't watch it. We went down to the Senior Open at the Broadmoor though on Saturday. I think it was the 12th or no, God man, July. Last weekend of June. Last weekend of June, maybe.
Yeah, last weekend in June.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Padraig Harrington won it. I think it was a good day. We had quite a lot to drink that day, my wife and I. We don't get out often, so babysitter showed up and we just went out for 8 hours and had a good time. So
Here in the Springs.
yeah, it was at the Broadmoor,
Yeah,
the Senior U.S. Open. It was fun.
It was huge. I
Big
went
crowd,
to it too.
dude. Yeah, I couldn't believe the crowd. I didn't know there's that many people that like golf around here, but it was refreshing to see.
Yeah. There's a whole big golf course right by the Broadmoor. I forgot.
Well, yeah, the
about
Broadmoor.
that. Yeah.
That was the course that they played. Was at the Broadmoor.
Yeah, beautiful course, man. It was the East course, but I know the West is cool too. You have to be a member or you have to stay at the hotel to play there. So we're thinking about maybe one of these weekends getting the kids and taking them down just so I can go play 36 holes.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful course for sure.
Just outstanding. And it was just like, I had a spot. My mom was the captain of hole 1. So she was like, I had to go see my mom be the captain because
That was just a few weeks ago, huh?
it was like a month ago
now, when
now.
you say the captain, like telling everyone to be quiet while they're teeing off.
So she manages that person. I think she manages that person.
Like
but
that.
there's
That
people
sounds
wearing
like
the
her.
white hats. You know, there's
Yeah.
there's 1,500 volunteers for that thing. So it's a massive event, like massive.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and I mean they did a hell of a job.
Great.
I mean it was well put together.
We
and it
were
was
in the VIP tent one day, the day we were there. Yeah, it was a good time. The food was great too. I couldn't believe how many vendors they had. They had like street taco trucks, and it was great. Yeah,
There's a lot of great golf places here in town. Actually, I'd never golfed, but like you got Patty Jewett, you got the one by Palmer Park. I see that almost every day. You know,
Yep.
and it's all beautiful scenery. You know, like I've never golfed before, but if I was golfing, I would do it here because I live here. But
A lot of great courses up in the mountains too.
Okay.
Keystone has some great courses.
Oh,
I played the Keystone River course. The ball flies like 400 yards in the air up there. It's just
so
unbelievable.
thin.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, you don't know what club to hit because you're like, man, you know, I hit my pitching wedge down here a decent way. Up there was like way off. Terrible round. You just
Really?
don't know where the ball's going to go.
Oh,
yeah.
because it's the
Yeah,
gravity.
altitude.
Yeah, because the gravity's lighter up there.
No, the air's thinner.
The air's
what
thinner,
it is.
that's what it
yeah.
is.
So you
Okay,
get a little
nice.
more carry than you would down here, and then back east, you barely get anything where I'm from. So even out here, the
Mhm.
ball goes a lot farther than back
Oh,
home.
yeah,
where it's
we're
like
a
600
whole-
feet. Yeah.
We're a whole mile up almost.
Yep,
Yeah.
It's the whole thing about
Crazy.
baseball too, right? Like pitchers in Colorado can
yeah.
pitch a little bit different because it's Colorado,
Well,
right?
hitters. I mean, theoretically, the ball should go farther up at Coors Field, or is it Coors Field?
Yep.
I'm not a big Rockies guy. I'm unfortunately a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, and they are,
okay.
they're awful. So,
So I think the Rockies got him beat probably.
yeah, you guys do this year. Yeah. I think they're 2 of the 5 worst teams in the league by far. So yeah, it's interesting. But anyways,
Yeah.
I guess, yeah,
That's
I don't have much to talk about in regards to baseball. The Pirates are just awful. So.
But college sports is definitely one of your things.
Oh yeah,
and
huge. I love Pitt football. Love Pitt basketball. Probably going to go in November. My dad went to Pitt, so he tries to get a couple tickets every year for us. We're going to go see Notre Dame play at Pitt.
Oh,
At
that'd be very
Acrisure
cool.
Stadium. Yeah,
My mom went
Yep.
to Pitt too, but
really.
Pitt, Kansas.
Pittsburgh State. That's
Yeah,
Pittsburgh
Pitt State. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I know who they are. It's a real place. Yeah,
Yeah.
D2. They're Division 2.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, they
You
got
from-
the gorillas.
Yep. You from Kansas?
Missouri. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's cool, man. Yeah.
Kansas and Missouri both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk about the like because sports is a big thing from where you come from, just the entire East Coast, and like
psychotic.
talk about like just the
Psychotic.
culture shock of moving from East Coast coming over to Colorado. We talked about this when we had coffee,
man.
just like. And I was very lucky being young because I lived on the East Coast and I lived in upstate New York. And got to
Rochester, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
okay,
good
I
memory.
remember. Yep.
And just like the differences, because there are very stark differences, especially in pace of life, everything.
Yeah. We're definitely impatient where I'm from. And when I got out here, even to this day, I feel like everything moves a little slower, except drivers.
Yeah.
I've never seen worse drivers in my life. No offense.
Yeah.
Don't hate me. Don't hate me.
I think it's just because you're from somewhere else. I think everyone experiences that. when they
maybe,
move
man.
somewhere.
I don't know. I don't know. 85 miles an hour is still 85 miles an hour. You know?
Yeah.
But
That's
I
true.
would
I
say-
do not like seeing that. That's true.
We have a fast pace of life back where I'm from. Maybe that's a little overstated, but I find myself waiting in line at 7-Eleven here, wondering how long it's going to take to buy my Red Bull and
It's
get
because
out.
you're going to
but
7-Eleven. You got to go to Quick Trip.
Maybe, man.
When they
But,
get here.
back where I'm from, though, you got one lady running 2 different registers,
Yeah,
counting
yeah.
cash with both hands. Like, yo, who's next in line?
That's how Quick Trip does it, and I can't wait for
that's
them to
good
get
know.
here.
Yeah, that's good to know.
They're building Quick Trips here, so they're gonna take care of that for you.
Quick Trip. Have you guys ever hear of Sheetz or Wawa?
Heck no.
God.
Oh, wow.
You have no idea how awesome it is to have
Okay.
a great gas station. No offense.
Oh, I
to-
do because I had Quick Trips in Kansas City. So
I'm gonna have to check Quick Trip out.
They're building one right off
obviously.
Academy right now, so it's the first one like in the Springs.
Man, this devolved into a gas station podcast really fast. But so,
Well, it happens because I'm very passionate about Quick Trip.
all right, well, we're gonna have an argument then. Sheetz and Wawa, they're both
Okay.
great. There's kind of like a war in Pennsylvania between the two of them,
Okay.
and Wawa is more like a Philly-based thing, and I think Sheetz started in Pittsburgh, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but you could walk in and order just about anything you could think of at the counter, and you get it. They make it 5 minutes, and there's just so much more variety than I see at Maverick.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
And so that's one thing I miss the most. And we have this grocery chain called Wegmans.
Wegmans is awesome.
You know Wegmans, yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring
They
it up.
have it up in Rochester, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like think of like you could get a buffet of anything you want, Asian food. You know, they have subs. You could buy pizzas. There's just nothing like that here.
So
I
it's
have
like
to say.
Buc-ee's or HEB or something like that.
Kinda, but it's like a grocery store with high quality organic type food.
Oh, okay. I like that.
It's better than Whole Foods,
Mm.
and we don't have a Whole Foods where I'm from. But yeah, Sheetz and Wawa definitely are better than Quick Trip. You have to
I
go
don't
to the
know.
East Coast and try it.
I-
You have to.
Have you
If there's
tried?
anyone that does listen to this, they'll know what I'm talking about if they're from the East
Oh,
Coast.
yeah.
Have you tried
Um,
Quick Trip?
No, I have not.
I haven't tried
No.
those either.
No.
So,
But back to the the way of life. I hear that East Coasters are a little more abrasive. I don't know if that's true. You guys tell me, but
that's the consensus, I think.
it is. Yeah, I don't know if it's true. I think we're just more like, hey, like yeah, whatever, let's get it done. You
Mhm.
know. And I don't know if it's good. It probably leads to higher cortisol levels. I bet you the lifespan is definitely a little bit lower over there. No doubt about it. People here are definitely more relaxed and they pace themselves.
Mhm.
That's about the only thing I've noticed. I think people here are really friendly. We're definitely friendly where I'm from, but you know, all right, are you gonna get moving or what? Like that's just what we're
Mhm.
like back there.
Yeah,
So,
there's a sense of urgency behind them.
Yeah, and I think
loved
it helps in business, no doubt
does.
about it. Like I find to this day, people are still shocked that we'll get out there in like 2 hours. I'm like, what? I don't have to wait a week? No, you don't. We'll be there in 2 hours. How about that? Great.
Yeah.
It goes a long way. The basics out here go a long way, it seems like.
Yeah,
But
the best clients I've ever had have been from the East Coast, to be
That's-
honest with you,
that's
because they're
good to
bluntly honest and they don't like hide anything from you too. So
Yeah.
it's like, how are you feeling about how we're doing? That
Yeah.
they'll like shit on us or they'll praise
No,
us.
you guys are doing great, by the way.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah. It's just like amazing just to
Yeah.
hear like just that transparency there and then the urgency. And like you said, like where we were in upstate New York, it was like one of the nicest like communities I've ever been to. Like we lived in a cul-de-sac area and like the entire neighborhood came and just did like a housewarming for
Yeah,
us.
that's
And it was
awesome.
just like big Italian, I mean,
I know a lot about
area
that.
in Rochester, you
Yep,
know, and
yep,
it was just
yep.
so much fun. And just like, I never felt that kind of hospitality ever in my life. It was really cool.
One thing I will say, at least from the Italian side of things, the food here is not quite as up to par as what I'm used to on the East Coast. Pizza especially. Now I have celiac disease, so I have to eat cardboard pizza anyways. Gluten-free crust is terrible. But I would say the food scene, love the burgers and steaks and love the chicken wings out here. Love the Mexican food. Tacos are great, but Italian food is severely underrepresented in this city.
Yeah, we just got paninos. I think that's about it.
I know that, what is it, Paravicini's on the
Yeah.
east side? Is
So
that
I
how you
didn't even
say
know
it?
about that.
On the west side.
West side.
Uh-huh.
I've not been there yet, but I hear it's fantastic. I know Panino's is pretty good. Red Gravy downtown, I think they do Italian, but I've never been there yet. So
I haven't been there yet either.
have to check it out. But I missed that about being back home. I mean, you could get the best chicken parm of your life at 20 different places.
Slice
3
420,
miles
I
away.
just thought. Have you tried them yet?
They're from New York, right?
Yeah, they're from.
I've
I mean,
not
he has
had
an
them.
accent,
Yeah.
so.
I've not tried it yet. I'll
Yeah.
try it one of these days. I do miss that though.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny is when I was in Italy, I tried to get a pizza there, and I'm like, because I lived in New York, I was like, the pizza in New York's way better than what I've been finding. But it's
Yeah.
also a different type of pizza.
Yeah, it's not the same, right?
yeah,
I've
everything's
never been
different.
to
Yeah.
Italy, but
Chicago's got their own style. Too,
I love
you know?
Chicago
Yeah.
pizza
Mhm.
too, no doubt about it. I mean, there's a lot of good pizza in America. I just,
Oh yeah.
I'll say that the best Italian food I've had out here to this day is Biaggi's, and
Oh,
it's
man.
a chain.
Yeah, I was gonna
Is
say
that good or bad?
I've
You know,
never
I
had
don't
not
know,
good. Yeah,
man.
that means yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I gotta try.
I
it.
hope somebody proves me wrong.
Is that in Denver or something?
No, it's we live in Briargate, so it's right up there in the shops.
okay.
You know,
Nice.
the promenade shops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Any major nice shops like in Colorado will
Yeah.
have a Biaggi's or PF
Yeah.
Chang's. They're all
Yeah.
usually in the same kind of
Mhm.
area. So
Love PF Chang's too.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
great.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Some instant observations for me, of course, moving over here, and there's
Mhm.
so much different than here. Obviously, like outdoor focus is big.
Yeah.
Here as well. Talk about like, of course, like you opened your business, COVID hits.
Yep.
How did that affect your business, good and bad? I'm sure there were some positives that came out of it too, maybe, but
I think
about it.
the good thing was we didn't know because we just started kind of, you know, we were open a few months and then boom. I was doing this on the East Coast with my brother on the side on weekends. So we kind of knew what we were doing in that regard. The hardest thing though was just, I mean, even for my wife, she was a nurse. So for her, it was very stressful too. We kind
sure.
of had a different dynamic going on where she as a nurse saw a lot of things I didn't see that were very grim and the dark side of it all. And me, I'm just like, man, like we just got here. We can't fail because we just got here. I'm not moving back home a month after we got here. So I was like, I don't care if I die of COVID. I have to find a way to make this work. And so we were kind of like, it was an interesting dynamic for a while because I didn't really worry about the virus itself. You know, she was very concerned about it. And it was kind of a, I don't want to say contentious, but like, what do? We kind of have no choice at this point because you're not making enough money to support my business and pay our rent and pay our student loans. I have to make this work. So it was just not knowing what was going on because the reality is, and whatever side of the political spectrum you fall on, I'm not going to get into that at all. Nobody knew what the best decision was. And I would not want to have been the one to make the decision in that situation. You know, when you don't know what's going to happen, you can't just ignore it. You have to take the cautionary, you know, route, in my opinion. And so I think it was just a hodgepodge of people with a lot of opinions. Nobody knows what was right or wrong, even to this day. And you just had to get through it, man. A lot of credit cards. I'll say that. I mean, early on, you know, my whole thing was we got to spend money on Google ads because we have to get customers. And if I have to go into debt to do it, I will. It probably saved our business at that point, you know, and I don't think we'd be where we are today if I wasn't willing to take those risks. But, you know, my credit score would have been in a lot better shape too. So it is what it is. You kind of learn it as you go. And that's like what I was saying earlier. You just have to keep going. That's all it is. You just have to keep going. And you make the decision if you want to. You know what I mean? So the second year was great because I think everybody, we tripled our first year to our second year, which is that's not outstanding because our first year wasn't great, but it was great because people were pent up and they just wanted to spend money. Like I think it was like, wow, there was all the you're stuck in your house for how many months, and then it was like party city. Every bar was packed, everywhere you went was packed that second year when everybody started calming down a bit. So it was just an interesting time, man. It was kind of a blur looking back on it because we didn't have time to relax. Like any of us, nobody had time to relax. Every day you were bombarded with, oh my God, this is terrible. This is happening. The economy is going to collapse. People are sick and dying. And it was just insane. I think collectively everybody's still recovering from that bombardment of bad news. You know what I mean? Like it felt like every day was just, man, like when is this going to end? I just want to shut the TV off and live my life. So
dude,
somehow we've parlayed it into a decent, successful business at this point. So I'm thankful in a way. You get slapped in the face a bunch of times and you get to the point where nothing bothers you. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Yeah.
Baptism by fire, man.
Yeah, man. It is what it is. It was very interesting. So
yeah, that's so tough. I remember because obviously I come from the event world, being an event organizer, and like I had to submit like 5 or 10 plans to the county I was doing my event in about social distancing and like how many people were going to allow in the event at one time, and are we going to have hand sanitizer stations, and are we going to wear masks? And this is like, okay, I already missed 2020, didn't have an event, and the government paid me not much to shut my event. I lost a lot of money, of course, like everybody else did. And then 2021, we're planning all these different things going back and forth. And then a week before the festival, they were like, it's open. You can do whatever you want. I'm like, man, you would have saved me so much time with this crazy planning going back and forth and all this. But
was that summer of 21? I can't even remember.
Yeah, and then I think it shut down again. I think in 20. So it was just
there was two shutdowns.
Yeah, there was like two separate, like the first winter, then the second year they shut it down again, right? I can't even remember.
Around December and stuff like that.
We were lucky because technically, I guess what we do classified as an essential service early.
Yeah,
we're garbage men. We're glorified garbage men. But I can't imagine how difficult that would be. Now we wore masks and all that. The interesting thing was, a lot of customers around here would laugh at us if we showed up with a mask. It can be a politically divisive town from my experience. And I remember like we'd show up with a mask. Oh, take that off. Like, blah, blah, blah. What are you doing? It's like, well, I'm going to keep it on because at the end of the day,
what to do.
like if something does happen and you change your mind and you get mad at me and I'm the one that got you sick, right. I don't want to feel bad, and I don't want you blaming me. So now we were outdoors. No, of course. But it was a unique time period. I hope we never go through anything like that again. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Give it 100 years. We'll be there again.
Something. Yeah.
So you're going through your like first real business getting off the ground. You're going through that, which is like a once in a lifetime, once in 100-year kind of pandemic. And you're just not giving up. Where does that come from within you, Fred? To be like that?
Honestly, as much as I would like to have some kind of, this is where that came from. Probably desperation. I mean, we moved. I had probably put 35 grand into the business before we even opened our doors.
Wow.
And it was just, I'm not moving back to Pennsylvania right now. I'm not going to quit this. It'll eventually subside. So you just got to do it, man. And it sounds simple, but you have no choice. When we were definitely broke. Our first year, we were broke. I mean, thank God for my wife. And we had a little bit of money saved up, but we weren't here in Colorado enjoying the high life. Like, we went on a lot of hikes. We spent a lot of time outdoors. That's cheap, luckily. But it was just like go time the second we hit the ground. And it was just desperation, like, hey, we can't go back. I'm not going to quit after 3 months in business, and we have to make this work. Junk isn't going anywhere. It's still piling up in somebody's garage. So once this calms down, it'll hopefully pay off. And it has so far. I was working, I can't remember. I bartended somewhere here for a little while.
Really?
I can't remember. I think might have been Perry's Pizza,
nice.
Up in Castle Rock. That's where I was. Because we lived in Castle Rock for a little while. I was driving my dump truck down here every day, down I-25. And Lex, my wife, she worked at Anschutz up in Aurora. So we kind of just wanted to split the middle. After 2 years, I said, yeah, we're moving down to the Springs. It's time. And so we did. Yeah, just, you got to do it, man. You got to do what you got to do. You can't, it's okay to quit, but if you're going to quit, you make the decision and you just do it. And I just didn't want to do that. You know, it was just, hey, we're going to make it work. And hopefully we're on the other side of COVID, you know, by now. I think we are, right?
Yeah.
I stopped paying attention to the news. So
Yeah,
Probably a good idea.
I don't watch it anymore. I got to make sure I stay away from that kind of stuff. So
why didn't you just focus on Castle Rock? Why the Springs?
well, because I mean, the whole plan was moving to the Springs to open the business. You know, Castle Rock was just where we lived.
And military, so you said, was a big aspect.
Yeah,
of it,
yeah. I mean, you know, what is the population down here? About 500,000 people in the city, and then the county has about
600,000.
700-ish. Monument, you know, Falcon, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We go to Teller County and Pueblo County too. So this is where the population is. Denver's a little more competitive. We still go to Castle Rock. I've got quite a few long-term customers up there that call us all the time. I have a satellite branch up that way anyways, technically. So like we have an office space up there. I just don't spend a ton of time. But yeah, this is where people are moving to. And this is the big center of population. And you have to be logistical about it, right? Like if we lived in Woodland Park, it wouldn't make sense to have this kind of business unless I had my trucks down here.
Right.
But you don't want to drive a dump truck up and down Ute Pass all day long. It would be unprofitable. So yeah, I mean, we're in a centrally located area. We're right by the dump, so that helps us a ton every morning. It probably speeds our process up by an hour. And yeah, it is what it is.
We're going to take a quick break to thank our sponsors.
Envirolon is your go-to for transforming outdoor spaces with beautiful, water-efficient, artificial turf and landscapes.
Whether you're upgrading your yard or a commercial space in Arizona or Colorado, check them out at envirolon.net. That's ENVIROLAWN.net.
Reveal Med Spa.
Look and feel your best at Reveal Med Spas. With personalized plans that deliver real results, radiant skin, restored confidence, and natural rejuvenation.
At Reveal Med Spa, we see you more than just aesthetic and wellness treatments. We provide a safe, judgment-free space where you feel valued, heard, and supported.
Visit RevealMedSpas.com.
I think it is literally just that too. We'll just double check. Book your next session at RevealMedSpas.com. That's RevealMedSpas.com.
Home Day. Buying a home shouldn't be overwhelming. Home Day empowers you to save on your mortgage by putting you in control of the process. Lower your cost and take the next step towards home ownership with ease. Visit GetHomeDay.com today.
Fast Signs. From banners to vehicle wraps, Fast Signs delivers custom visual solutions to help your business stand out. Their team ensures your message is clear, bold, and effective. Get your signage needed handled at FastSigns.com. That's FastSigns.com. Epic Eyewear. Stylish, affordable, and designed for adventure, Epic Eyewear has the sunglass and eyewear you need to see life more clearly. From the mountains to the beach, protect your eyes with high-quality frames and lenses. Check out their collection at epiceyewear.com. And by the way, Andrew, we do have a special discount, COSBP 15 for 15% off, I believe.
Cars Helping Charities. Turn your unused cars into a meaningful contribution with Cars Helping Charities. They make it easy to donate your vehicle to support local causes. One of the local charities that we like to support on behalf of Cars Helping Charities, actually, and part of their sponsorship is Mattersville. And check them out too.
They're awesome. They are a tiny house community for veterans suffering with PTSD. They have a property out in Yoder, Colorado, and then they also have one in Sedalia, Colorado as well.
Donate today and make a difference. Visit carshelpingcharities.org. That's carshelpingcharities.org.
Dream Accounting Solutions.
Take the stress out of managing your books with Dream Accounting Solutions. They provide reliable expert accounting services tailored to small businesses. Simplify your finances at dreamaccountingsolutions.com. That's dreamaccountingsolutions.com.
Exponential Impact. Exponential Impact is driving innovation and entrepreneurial success in Colorado Springs. Supporting startups with mentorship, funding, and community resources, they help businesses grow and thrive. Learn more about their impact at exponentialimpact.com. That's exponentialimpact.com.
And now let's get back to the show.
How does one go from starting a business like you, and you're almost 6 years in at this point, which is crazy.
It'll be 6 years, I think, in October.
Dude,
So-
you're getting close.
I
then.
thought you were about to say at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah. 6 full years. Yeah.
That's
Yep.
insane. So how does one go from like starting it, I mean, where you started it, and then like to scale the business that you've had it now? There's been probably a lot of changes, a lot of different types of hires. How do you get to that level? Because it's every level another devil, right? Like, how do you get to that scale?
I think the first thing is sales. Like you have to get people calling you, interested in your business. I think a lot of guys, especially in my industry, go about it the wrong way. We went into it making sure we had enough money to spend on advertising, because that's the number, in my opinion, especially right now. And the problem right now is it's so expensive. 5 years ago, a cost per click on Google was like $6, $7. I look now and sometimes I'm spending $30 a day on a $30 a click. And I'm like, dude, thank God we spent the money we did when it was cheap to get that base of customers that we have now, because if we didn't do that, we wouldn't be here. The idea, at least in home services, is you want to build a snowball that you do a great job with the customers you get, so that they call you a year later, 2 years later,
or a niece or a nephew.
Yeah, there you go. We have people calling us from our first month in business still every once in a while. So I think sales and advertising is number one. And there's a lot of things we could still be doing so much better at that. I barely do any networking. I wish I did, but I barely do it. And then, people, right? You have to have good people. We've got as of today, 9 employees. We have had up to 13 at a time, maybe 14. This time of year, it starts to wind down because I have some guys going back to school. I've got one employee going to Arizona State, so he's leaving in about a week. Some other guys shift their availability because they're going to Pikes Peak or UCCS. So come fall, it slows a little bit. I get back on the truck a little bit here and there.
And you need early college guys or something like that?
Like
early 20 guys?
It's I mean, kind of, yeah. I mean, it's a physically demanding job. I mean, you're lifting a lot all day, every day. And today, what was it? 90 degrees?
Yeah.
85.
Yeah.
I didn't pay attention.
Yesterday was like mid 90s.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah. Yesterday was really hot. You got to have guys that are physically fit. They have to like this kind of work. They have to be good with people. At least my sales guys do. Like the crew lead, the guys that quote the jobs, they have to be really good with people. And we do a pretty good job of filtering that out. You're never perfect. And we try to, if I think it's not a good fit, I try to make sure we communicate that early, because, you don't want to leave somebody high and dry, and you don't want to have the wrong guy on the team at the end of the day. So you teach guys a little bit. You let them have a little bit of freedom in what they do. A lot of freedom, actually. They make decisions, and I don't question it unless it's egregious. And usually we don't do that kind of thing. So you have to have people you trust, and you kind of have to trust before sometimes, is what I've found. You just have to, hey, go ahead. Like the first time I took a vacation with my business still running, it was like, this is crazy, man. Like it took a while to get to that point, but we went down to Myrtle Beach back in 2021. And we had a good week where we didn't do anything crazy and no accidents, business ran smoothly. And I'm like, okay, I kind of can get used to this now. And I've done it a few times. I haven't taken many vacations, but great people. You have to be willing to trust before you are ready to, if that makes sense. You just have to decide, okay, I'm going to let Jesse and Matt do this all day without talking to them. Let's see what happens. They'll call me if they need me. I'll call them if I need them, but I trust them to do the job. They're trained well enough, and it's worked out for the most part. So we screw up every once in a while. I think we have 10,000 plus customers in our database at this point, and you're always, you want to make everybody happy. You can't make everybody happy. But as long as the averages look where they are and we're getting good feedback, then you're doing a good job. So,
100%, man. Yeah. Again, going back to when I did events, same thing. When you deal with all those people, you're gonna get some pissed off people.
You're never gonna, you can't, and what I'm finding is most of the time it's probably not your fault.
Yeah.
I'm psychotically obsessed with making sure we're doing the right things. Like I ask too many questions sometimes to my guys at this point. Just at the end of the day, hey, what happened here? How'd this go? Was this customer happy? Are we going to get a good feedback if I call this customer? Are they going to leave us a good review? You kind of have to be that way to make sure your guys maybe get some of those habits from you. I almost want my guys to have a business owner's mentality in a way, because you want them to treat it like it is their own. So I can imagine, like, how many thousands of people at one time? Probably
just
like
tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands of people. Yeah. That's a lot, man. We only have to make one person happy at a time. So that's a different animal.
Well, it's insane. And also, like, you have to learn how to build systems on the fly too. It's like, as you scale, like, just like with the event, or even with us, like what we do with the podcast and other things that I do, like, it's always about systems, and that's how you scale. It's like, okay, here's the procedures to do X, Y, and Z. How did you find time to do that? Because I'm sure it was like you're running, like doing, like, at one point you're probably doing everything, right? And then you still have to systemize your stuff. How'd you do that?
I haven't quite systematized myself out of the business yet. But for the guys, it's not rocket science. Like I don't pretend we're something we're not. Like we're not curing cancer, but we are providing a really good service to people that need it, and we're able to do it at a really efficient level. I think we're not the cheapest in town. We're not the most expensive. We're right where we need to be to do what we need to do to sustain it for a while. They know how to price. They know how to look at a pile and say, this is going to cost this, and once you get the basics down, luckily junk is not that complicated. It can get complicated, when you're dealing with a hoarder house or you're dealing with a job that's, maybe you're working in a building and you have to walk 500 feet to get a desk out. How do we price that the right way? How do we make sure we don't break something? How do we not scratch their floor? But we have software that's helpful. We use something called Workies, which is basically our call system, our scheduling system, our payment system all in one. That does like 80% of my job for me.
Awesome.
I give them the jobs in the morning. I get up at like 7, schedule the jobs. There's days where I'm home early with my daughters. There's days where I get to the office early. It just depends on what's going on that day. There's days where I'm on the truck still. I don't mind that. I love it actually. But once you get the pricing set up, once you teach them how to quote, you give them a little bit of a script. You want them to let them make it their own, but you got to give them a little bit of guidance on how do you greet the customer? How do you communicate what we're doing? How do you communicate what's most important? And it's just not rocket science. Luckily, I try to hire smart guys. I try to hire guys that give me, like, what you're doing. You're a competent person, and I think you can figure this out fast. And that's what I look for when I'm hiring somebody. So
it's great.
With good character too, which you don't always know how it's going to turn out. You just have to pay attention and trust but verify. So
love it.
Yeah, I hope that answers that question.
Totally, man.
Systems, they're tough. They're still, even for me, it's a work in progress. I'm probably at that point where I could probably hire somebody to replace me, but I also like being involved. I love what we do. I love talking to people on the phone. My dad, he's my full-time call guy, but between him and myself, we're still taking 30 to 40 calls on a given day. Sometimes less, sometimes more. He's an absolute ace at what he does. He has a booking rate of over 55%. So
Hell yeah.
of qualified calls, if anybody needs to hire out a secondary call rep, let me know. Yeah, of qualified calls, he's doing an amazing job. He's better than me at this point. So that's it, man. That's all I got for you. It's systems. Still work in progress. We're sometimes we're a little sloppy sometimes with our tools. Like we have toolboxes on each truck. We lose some stuff sometimes, and I have to figure out a way to how do we do this every morning and every day at the end of the day, so I don't have to keep spending $500
when you
for
lose
2 toolboxes every 3 months because we keep losing them. How do we make sure our tires are perfectly ready to go every morning? How do we do our inspections the right way? What are we missing? What kind of tools do we need for each job? The guys sometimes want to just hit the road and go, and that's great, but you have to figure out a way to slow that down a little bit too. So I'm working on that kind of stuff right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We had a visit with Levi Torres with High Five Plumbing up in
I
Denver.
feel like I've heard that.
I think we talked about him briefly.
Probably.
Amazing episode.
Yep.
And he had just moved into his new building. Like, what was it? Like, has it been like 2 years now? How long has it been now?
A year, I think.
A year change? Yeah.
Year and a
Up
couple
in
months.
Denver?
Yeah, in
Up
Denver.
there, okay.
And they had like cubbies that they kind of like checked out the equipment every day. So
That's
it's like so-and-so's cubby. And they had like pretty much like an arsenal of their tools.
That's really smart.
And they go in there and they check them out. And like, it was really cool, like systematizing how they did it. And
It was like
everything.
a small warehouse within their office almost.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. We need something like
Yeah.
that. We need like a big bag, like almost like a military duffel bag to put in the office safely every night. And then every morning you check it, make sure they're there. You sign the checklist.
Yep.
Come
There you
back at
go,
night,
yeah.
take a photo, make sure it's all there, sign the checklist. I think I just found out what I have to do. There we go. Yeah. Thank you.
And they're a plumbing company, so they needed like
They need a ton of
they have
tools.
like a
Oh,
bunch
yeah.
of different cubbies for a bunch of different small little
Yeah,
things. But
yeah.
like with you, it's just a few small little
we
things.
need
probably
we need a
work, yeah.
sawzall. We need
Yeah.
a couple sledgehammers. We need shovels because we might be digging dirt. We need a
Oh,
broom
yeah,
because
yeah.
we always like to
different
sweep
kinds of
up
tools
the
for
garage
different
and
kinds
the
of jobs.
driveway and
Yeah.
make sure it's clean after we leave. We need like a socket and wrench set, a couple screwdrivers.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's not too fancy. An
Yeah.
extension cord, because if we have to cut a hot tub up, that's what we use Sawzalls for quite often.
Do you stock those on
Um,
each truck?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
But again, we'll lose them sometimes. And
Oh yeah.
my guy will call me, Fred, there's not this on the truck.
Where is it?
Did we do our checklist in the morning? No, we didn't. But
Yeah. So
yeah.
yeah, maybe a checking system or some kind of
Yep.
that'd probably work really well.
yep, that's
Yeah.
definitely a pain point if
For
there is
sure.
any. But
There's always room for improvement.
always,
yeah.
man. Always,
yeah.
yeah. Always trying to figure out what we could be doing
Mhm.
better.
Yeah. So what do you think contributed to like 30 calls a day? What drives that?
Like I said, I mean, we spend sometimes an embarrassingly large amount of money on ads.
Okay.
You have to.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
This isn't necessarily like a super high margin business. It's quite expensive to operate.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to go into it knowing you're probably not going to make a lot of money for your first 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, you sacrifice, I think our first 2 or 3 years, we probably spent almost 30% of our entire budget on Google ads.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys choose to go the slow route. They network, they try to meet
Mhm.
people, but that eventually hits a peak and you have to have leads and you have to have good quality leads too. Like,
Mhm.
you don't want to spend money on people that think you're a free service. So you have to really get good at running ads.
Yeah.
And Google still finds a way to take your money no matter what they want to do.
Oh, yeah.
No matter how good you are, they find a way to take your money. But yeah, it's just advertising, man. Advertising, yard signs, repeat business, referral business. We do some work with property managers. That's it. It's
Okay.
just, we have a good presence now
Yeah.
online too. Our map pack popped. Like when you're looking on Google for junk removal in Colorado Springs, you'll probably see us in the top 1, 2, or 3 on the Google map pack now at this point.
Mhm.
So that probably drives 30% of our leads. And then advertising and SEO is another 70% right there. Yeah.
What's
Oh,
a
yeah.
Google Map Pack? Can you explain that?
Do you have your phone? You want to
Yeah.
you want to pull it out? No, I don't know. You don't want to do that on your own show, but if you go to Google, type in junk removal Colorado Springs. Let's test it out. Let's see what happens.
Junk removal.
Put myself
Number
on the
one,
line
number
here,
one, number
man.
one.
I hope I'm one. Yeah, let's see what pops up.
Junk and Hall. It's the sponsor.
that's an ad.
That's a sponsored
Scroll
one.
down a
Yeah.
little
There you
bit.
go.
Keep going. There we are. Second one.
Junk King, Junk and
So-
Hall. Yeah.
So Junk King, respect their company. I
Yeah.
think they're right back here. Their office is like a road
Oh
down.
yeah, this distance
So
really
it
does
kinda-
matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then we're up in Briargate, so that's not too far. But
Yeah.
there you go. Right.
That's pretty good.
Pop up
Sweet.
number 2. We're not number 1. I'm gonna have to figure out why.
Yeah, but the ads are in there.
The ads, yeah, that top ad really gets us a lot of phone
I
calls.
bet. Yeah.
You spend a lot of money though.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I will say,
That's why I didn't click it. No,
Thanks.
just kidding.
I'm gonna look later on and see a click at 7:14
Yeah.
p.m. Yeah, right?
Click the
I'll have
organic
to
listing.
block
though.
that IP. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say that right now, it's not as easy as it was. You probably have to have like 10 times the amount of money I had in the bank at that point in time, and you still might not make it if you start up right now. It's a tough business. It's competitive.
Mhm.
There's probably, God, I could think of like 15 other legitimate companies in town off the top of my head.
We've had 3 of them.
Yeah, yeah.
On this
And
podcast.
I'm probably
Yeah.
who? I know
Andrew.
Andrew's been on here.
Yeah.
Andrew's one of my buddies.
So,
Ray's one of my buddies.
Andrew, and then Ray, and then Matthew Biera. He
Yeah.
actually took his life. A few
I
years
talked
ago.
to Matt
Mhm.
quite often back in the day. I
Yeah.
was not lucky enough to meet him in person, but he seemed like a great guy.
Great
I
person.
talked to
yeah.
him all the
Mhm.
time. We talked. I think he opened up in 21, about
Same
a year
the
after
same
I
time
did.
actually.
Yeah.
I think. Or
Yeah, he was
No,
about a
no.
year after me. If I'm not
he told me it
mistaken.
was like during. I think it was during like
Yeah.
COVID, like 20, like the December around then. Maybe it was 21. No,
Yeah. I do wish I got to meet Matt. We talk quite often. No, he's a good guy, man.
For sure, man.
Definitely. I miss our conversations. I don't know exactly what happened there.
Mhm.
But yeah, we talked a few days before it all went down. So,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it
man.
was
Yeah,
tough.
great guy.
great
Huge
guy.
hustler, right?
yeah, we
Like,
talked.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
he really put himself out
Yeah.
there.
Big
too.
visions. Yeah.
And I think he built it from like nothing.
Mhm.
And he just, really networking was his thing.
Oh, yeah.
When I talk about networking, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I'm not necessarily that kind of personality. We have a great business and I know we do a great job, but he was like a hustler
Oh, yeah.
for sure. For
Mhm.
sure. And those other 2 guys I'm
Yeah.
very good friends with as well. I talk to Andrew almost every day.
Nice.
So,
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
If he's
Yeah.
back on, let him know I said hi.
Yeah.
Oh, we love
I don't
Andrew.
let him know tomorrow. But yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, Matthew did
So-
this funny thing when In-N-Out opened up. Like
I
you know,
remember.
the
I
first-
remember it, man.
He was
on
running down
TV.
the street on TV.
I think it was actually Whataburger.
Yeah, no, it
was-
was In-N-Out. I think
Was it the In-N-Out? It was the one on Interquest, right?
Mhm. Yeah, Interquest.
Parkway.
Yeah.
He. I remember he was on TV because he was running up and down with a sign
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
middle of a snowstorm.
Yeah, in the
I'm like,
snowstorm. Yeah.
I'm like, Matt, you do that. I'll I'll run some ads, but
there you
that's
go.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not that outgoing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I would say that back to the 30 calls a day question, it's just advertising and 6 years in business.
Yeah.
There's no
compounds.
shortcuts. Yeah. Like it's, you have to do a good job for a long time and hope that you make enough money in the process to keep the doors open. And that's all it is.
Just got to get to 60 calls a day.
I need to hire more people for
There you
that.
go.
And the thing is, my dad is so good on the phones that I don't think, I'd probably lose my mind if I hired somebody that wasn't as good, and they won't be as good.
There you go.
He's so good, it's not even funny. And he's very good at getting to the, if you're not going to hire us, that's okay.
Don't waste our time.
Not like that, right? But that sounds awful, but he's really good at filtering out, okay, ma'am, it sounds like you might not be ready now, but how about this? Call around, talk to other people, get your answers. And if you have any more questions, call me. And I swear it works. Like I get 5 calls a week. Hey, I think I spoke with Fred Sr. I'm like, dang, because like he's so good, they don't want to talk to me, and I own the company. He's incredible.
He's always been like that, or is that something you pulled from your dad because he knew he was good at that specific skill? Or
I mean, he's a retired state trooper, Pennsylvania, so he just has a very detective like way of getting to what do you need, how can we help you,
sniffing out the bullshit.
If we can help you, what are you waiting for? In a very nice way.
Yeah. Which is important. That's a big aspect of that.
Yeah. I'm more of like a happy-go-lucky, yeah, it sounds great, call us when you need us kind of guy.
Yeah.
And that works too, but he is so laser precise at sales. He could probably work at any Fortune 500 company if he wanted to and do a great job. So that's how I feel about that. Yeah.
The art of
He's
discussion.
much better than me at this point because I'm kind of burned out with the phone calls. Early on, it was all me. I'd be on the truck. Hey, how can we help you? Blah, blah, blah. It gets to you after a while because we have people calling us for services that aren't even like, no, I'm not a plumber, ma'am. I'm sorry. How did you get this number? But yeah, you got to be good on the phones too because you don't want to spend money on advertising and not close.
Oh yeah,
you have to close. And I'm obsessed with numbers. Like I know where our numbers are every day, our sales, our profit and loss. How many calls did we get? How many calls did we book? Do I have to yell at my dad today because he didn't do a good enough job? Do I have to yell at myself because I didn't do a good enough job? Because that's the lifeblood of the business. So
you guys record calls too, by the way?
What was that?
You guys record calls too, by the way?
The software we use does record calls,
Nice.
yeah. So it's actually pretty wild now. It has this AI feature where it can provide a summary of the phone call.
Oh yeah.
And it gives you like a smiley face, a negative face. Like
okay.
it'll read the enunciation of words to make sure A, was my dad friendly? B, how was the customer? Like it's actually wild. So I could print out a transcript and it'll tell me the summary of something before I even listen to it.
That's so cool.
That's where AI is really helpful.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, for sure. So
man, huge. I want to talk to you. And did you have a question before I jump into?
I forgot. So go ahead.
Maybe remember when we jump in, but I want to talk about the like customer experiences because you have like probably a huge spectrum of customers. You have like the super organized folks who are just getting rid of stuff all the time. And then you probably have the hoarders, which I want to kind of go into with you too, who are the exact opposite, right?
Yeah.
So talk about like the customer experiences and what you've experienced as an owner of a junk removal business. I think it's super interesting.
I mean, I think we have like, our average customers, just kind of middle class, upper middle class suburbia, nice house, family, cars. Hey, I'm getting a new couch. I need to get rid of my couch. And while you're here, we have a pile in the basement. Our kids just went to college. Can you help us? And then, you get, unfortunately, maybe somebody passes away or they have to put somebody in a nursing home. You get middle-aged children and they haven't visited family in a while. Maybe it's an uncle, maybe it's their own parents. And it's a complete hoarding situation and they're really overwhelmed. I mean, we are too sometimes because you sometimes just don't know where to start. That's a different animal. That's a different job, different time commitment. We did I think it was a 21 truckload job in December. That was shocking, absolutely shocking. We had to dig ourselves into the house with shovels. It took several hours just to get the front door open. Like that's how much junk was in that house. And it was all like, food waste and it's tough to see, luckily she wasn't living there for a while. I think homeless people had broken into the house and kind of made it a mess and a family member helped take over this situation. If I recall correctly. We had another one similar to that back in June. We're still kind of working on that job as we speak. And over the weekend, we had another one. It was 10 or 11 truckloads we did in 2 days, 3 days. Like, my guys were just working nonstop, kudos to them. It was amazing how fast they got it done. I'm more of I like the quick jobs. Of course, we like the big jobs too, but, every customer you get is a chance to earn their business in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And so to me, when I'm thinking, what would I prefer? I'd probably prefer 10 $400 jobs a day than one big one, because if that big job might be a family member from Minnesota,
Mm-hmm.
they're not going to call us again because they're moving back. But if you could impress 10 customers in one day,
Yeah.
I'll take that any day of the week. Now, we love the big jobs too. You have to have a steady supply of those to keep going in this business. But the ones where you're in and out fast, my guys love them the most too, because they're easy. They're not that hard. You get in, you get out, you go to the next one. Kind of wash, rinse, repeat for 10 hours a day. So, yeah. Any questions about hoarders, or what do you want to know?
I think you
guys look like you're like,
What about the cost? Like, what is the job like that?
cost.
Is that a good like job?
It can vary.
Mhm.
I find a lot, you're talking 5-figure jobs, right? I sometimes find myself wishing I charged more though after they're done,
Yeah.
because that one in December, great job, great, really nice people. Didn't question the price, but I remember doing the math and I'm like, man, I think we spent $1,500 just on Tyvek suits alone just to get the job done. And then, because I'm not going to make my guys rewear a Tyvek suit every day, because we were dealing with food and shoveling stuff. You got to make sure you get them fresh stuff. I think we removed 120,000 pounds of trash from the house. So,
Yeah.
just imagine the expense, right?
Yeah.
Insanely expensive to dump that.
The labor too. I mean,
Oh my
like,
God. Yeah. There's occasions where you have to hire temp labor just to help with
Yeah.
team morale, because when you're moving stuff in and out of a basement, up and down steps and 90 degrees, it's a very thankless job. And I'm all like, all hands on deck. Let's just get this done together as quickly as we can. So we don't lose that happiness
Yeah.
of what we do, because
Yeah,
it can get very tough.
You can think
So-
like comparison, like
Yeah.
roofs. Like the cost to get a roof done is like
Insane, right?
is a 5-figure thing,
Right.
So it's like,
Right.
and it sounds like you guys are probably even doing more labor than what a roof.
Listen,
I've done
tons of
roof
respect
before,
for
yeah.
roofers, because being on the top of a house when it's 100 degrees out with the heat,
And the dangers of
it's
you know,
dangerous,
yeah.
man. And my God, I've driven by so many roofers not wearing the harnesses. It's like, this is crazy. I'm
that was
glad-
me actually.
Yeah, well, hey, whatever. It is what it is. I've done stupid stuff too.
Yeah.
My
It
God,
was
I've
stupid.
been on top of roofs for different reasons, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy. I would say
You got to get
that-
the speed. You got to get the job done though.
I'm not a heights guy, though, man. I'm not a heights guy. I actually had to climb on top of that roof at that hoarding job because there was a hole in the wall, and it was so bad. The one in December that I'm talking about, it was kind of like a bi-level house where you could walk out of one window and get onto the awning of the garage. We had to remove trash through the window because we couldn't get down the steps. So we pulled the truck up to the edge of the house
Like a chute?
and we were just throwing stuff into
Nice.
the truck from the second floor. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah. Hey, whatever works.
But yeah, I mean, when you're getting into our average job size, I think this year is about $427, right? Like, obviously that's an average. Like a couch, $150. If it's curbside, I'll make a deal with somebody. We'll do it for like $125. Depends on what it is. But when you get into a hoarding house, I mean, totally different price structure. Could be like $800 to $900 a truckload plus labor. So you could imagine it's kind of an open-ended thing. When you're dealing with that situation, you really do not know how many yards of trash you're going to pull out of this house, right? That house in December, it was so tightly packed together because of the weight that when we shoveled it, put it in bags and put it on the truck, well, it took up a lot more space than it looked like in the house because, that stuff's compressing for 25 years.
Jeez.
15 to 20 grand could be a typical hoarding house type of job. Some are more. That would be my biggest range. I've never done one. I've heard stories. I know somebody apparently that did one. They cleaned a hotel out. I don't remember if it was New York City. It was a secondhand story, like $300,000 to clean out a hotel. Can you imagine that? Like, I don't even know how long that would take, and I don't know if I'd even want to take that kind of thing on. But I've heard crazy stories in this business, man.
And that's a lot of work too. I mean, you
Yeah.
think like, comparing it to other businesses, like Brandon Kirk's business,
Yep.
he does air duct cleaning.
Yeah.
He had
Yep.
like a $400,000 job cleaning out like an airport, but
That's
like,
amazing.
but,
That's
like,
awesome. Yeah.
he's not taking out junk though. He's just cleaning. He's, like,
Yeah.
it's a different kind of junk, I guess you could
Yep,
say, but it's
yep.
like, I could see that makes sense. That makes perfect sense to me, actually.
Yeah. I mean,
actually, it seems like you should make more.
honestly, yeah. I mean, a big contention in our business is, I think, like I said, we're kind of garbage men. People don't value garbage, and I think that has something to do with maybe when we get price pushback.
Mhm.
Our cancellation rate on site is like 3%. So if we're going to your house, we're closing that job 97 times out of 100.
Hell yeah.
Now, again, a lot of that has to do with my father, because he's making sure he's
Before you
filtering.
go there,
You know, like the economy's gotten a little tighter, margins have shrunk, so we have to be mindful that we're not driving 50 miles to be told no over $100 couch, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
We have to make sure we're putting customers that do value what we do on the schedule. And so you have to be mindful of your numbers. And man, I lost where we're going with this.
Well, it's interesting because
Yeah.
it's like I don't know if your dad does this, but does he quote over the phone specifically?
Not
or
really.
say, okay.
Not really.
So it's again, you guys do free estimates, right?
We do free estimates. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a potential someone doesn't know what the cost would be, and you guys get
of
there.
Course,
Okay.
Of course. Because now, listen, if somebody has one item, yeah, I'll tell them the price. But when you tell them the price, they're going to hang up and just call 50 other companies.
Yep.
And find a guy that's willing to do it for $5 less. And so,
Mhm.
Small jobs aren't really our thing, because you don't make any money on them. You
Right.
lose money on them, quite
Probably.
frankly. By the time you factor in 2 guys, gas, time, dump fee, you're not making any money. Even on a $150 couch, you're not making any money. We do it because we want that person to call us again when they have a bigger job, right?
Right.
It's like the oil change for like.
Yeah, exactly.
a
Yeah, they don't make
mechanic.
any
Yeah.
money on those, man. Yeah. So I'd say, the one thing we contend with in our business is people compare us to a dumpster. I understand why, but you're hiring a dumpster and you're hiring guys with it to do the job in one day, instead of having a dumpster sitting in your driveway for 7 days.
Mhm.
If you were to put a number on the difference, it's probably $150 to $200 difference between filling a 20-yard dumpster or hiring us. I personally don't mind paying somebody $200 to take care of a job in one day. I don't really want to spend 7 days filling this dumpster. And that's something that we contend with a little bit, because, well, you guys are expensive. Yeah, but we're not a dumpster. We're doing it for you. Is that valuable to you? If not, I understand. No big deal. But, that's like
Other people see the value.
Yeah. Our customer sees the value and they understand why we do it. And we try to recycle what we can. We try to repurpose what we can. And I think we do a pretty good job. We could always do better. Sometimes we're so busy that you feel bad that you had to dump this couch, and you feel bad that you didn't have time to go through this box of valuables here, but we're so busy. And for me, it's about the customer. Get to them, be on time. We'll worry about everything else later. So.
Has there been any employees that have been with you since the very beginning that have kind of been around and have some tenured on your team?
Right now, no. Things shift. I've had a few guys go off to full-time careers because, this isn't necessarily a full-time gig for somebody. They make good money, don't get me wrong. I guess one of my newer guys, I would say, he's fantastic. In the last 2 weeks, he's made over $1,000 just in tips. Just think about one guy. Just think about that, right? You have to be really good. And you have to be really impressive to do that kind of thing. So while it's not something I would say is a full-time career for most people, because there's probably a limit on what your body could handle, it's a really good job for somebody that doesn't know what they want to do and they need something to fill in some time. And, we have guys that stay with us 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years, and then they move on, and you kind of have that next wave of guys that trains the next wave of guys that trains the next wave of guys. And I tell them when I hire them, hey, you can be here as long as you want to be here, as long as you're doing what we need you to do, and as long as you're giving me 100%. When that stops, I'm going to figure it out, or you're going to have to tell me. But I'm going to figure it out either way, and that's just how I approach it. You know what I mean? No hard feelings. I find it helps a lot, though. They're at ease. They know that as long as they're doing what I ask them to, they're safe. So.
Well, there's definitely seasonality, of course.
yeah.
We were talking about that before
Yeah.
recording, but there's seasonality, and like you've had a really good year, sounds like.
Sure.
Really freaking big. July.
Yeah, crazy July.
And so
it's not over, by the way. I think we have 21 jobs lined up between tomorrow and Thursday.
Wow.
My
So,
gosh.
yeah, it's nonstop. Yeah.
Yeah, talk about that, like the day to day. You're talking 21 jobs. This is the 29th of July. You have, I mean, another day essentially to get that
I
done.
told you guys this before, I think, but yeah, I had to spend $2,000 today to get 6 new tires. We had a flat. I don't know what happened Saturday. I was checking the trucks at the end of the day. I'm like, oh no, this truck is flat. And we can't have a truck down. When you have a truck down, it's like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Because each truck needs to be running to be at full capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to get that done today. I took the truck out east to a tire center out in Falcon. They did a great job. Got me 6 new tires, ready for the winter, actually. It's kind of just unpredictable. You don't know what you're getting into. Some jobs sound like they're going to be 10 minutes, and then my guys call me, Fred, this is 3 trucks. I'm like, well, great. Now I just have to figure out who's going to go to the job that I thought you were going to go to in 2 hours. And it's just a never-ending kind of mechanical process going on inside of your brain. You kind of have to have a spatial awareness of, okay, Jesse and Matt are over in Falcon. Dustin and Jalen are in Pueblo. Somebody's up in Teller County. My dad will call me, hey, can we put another one on for 4 to 6? They said it's an emergency. They're moving out tomorrow and they have to have this stuff out of here. Sure. I might have to go hop on a truck, but at the end of the day, being the company that's willing to take that last second job has probably gotten us a lot farther than where we would be if we shut down at 4 o'clock every day. So day to day is just it's kind of chaos, and you kind of have to like the unpredictable nature of this business. You might get a flat tire. One of my guys might might get an allergic reaction from a plant. You just don't know what's going on, and so you just have to take it as it comes and be ready to handle it. That's the best I could put it. It's just totally unpredictable, and you have to, you just have to find a way to center yourself and figure out what's next without panicking.
Love it, brother. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Sounds like good. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Good answer.
It wasn't always like that, and I still, I'm Italian. I'm hot-headed, and I have a little German in me too. So, I guess that makes me a very angry person sometimes. But yeah, I don't get as angry or as like, there'd be days back in the day where man, this sucks. Like, what am I going to do? I've kind of just figured out now that, okay, just another thing. As long as that sales number's going up, we could handle this. As long as nobody's getting hurt, we can handle this tire situation. I could deal with 3 weeks ago, the pump on the hydraulic system, it broke while it was all the way up.
Oh man.
Or it like shorted out or something. And then took about 30 minutes, had to pull the truck out of the transfer station. Luckily, it was right next door to our lot. Had to spend $1,000 to get a new pump though. So you deal with that kind of thing. And that's another reason you have to make sure you charge enough in this business, because if you're not charging when you need to charge and your truck goes down, you're out of business. Like you're really out of business if you don't have a backup plan. So that's another thing I've learned. The more equipment you have, the more people you have, the better you're equipped to handle bad situations.
You're segueing into my last question.
Oh, wow.
Which is great.
This is not scripted.
Yeah. I love it, man. But like, what's one piece of advice you'd give to somebody who's just starting up? I mean, you're just about to go into year 6. This specific business, you're in year 6, telling somebody in year 1, they want to get into the junk removal business. Man. What's one piece of advice you'd give them?
My honest answer is don't. My politically correct answer is just be ready to not make any money. Make sure you have money set aside, because the first thing you got to take care of is your family. You got to make sure that, if you need $5,000 a month, you or your partner or your wife, whoever it might be, you got to figure out how you have that covered, because once you have that covered, you can operate from a place of strength. And because the thing is, you cannot panic, but I also think you need to be well capitalized, because in today's climate, it's all about speed is what I'm finding. Customers are less patient than they used to. Employees are not patient. Business owners aren't patient. It feels like everybody's kind of just, it has to be done right now. And if you can't do it right now, I'll find somebody who can't, who can. And that's fine. But to be that kind of company, you have to have scale. And if you don't have money, it's very hard to scale. I would say this business specifically right now, because it's gotten so competitive. Ads are so expensive. I'd say look elsewhere first. And I know it sounds terrible and counterintuitive, but you have to really be willing to not make money for a long time before you're okay with, before you're okay. Does that make sense? And it might not be the answer you wanted, but
No, we want the
that's
real
a good-
answer.
that is
Yeah.
real. I mean, honest to God. Now, yeah, we started during COVID, and that was an exceptional situation. But inflation has made everything more expensive. So I really, truly believe that you really should be well capitalized and willing to lose probably $100,000 on ad spend before you make $1 to put in your pocket. It wasn't that severe with us because it wasn't as competitive starting out 6 years ago as it is today. But I mean, just look on Google. You've got 10 companies that might pop up before you do. And if you want to be number one, you got to spend $20-$30 a click.
And you got to be around for a little bit too.
You got to be around for a little bit. So it's just, you could do it as a side hustle, weekend warrior kind of thing, but the money's not there because you're fighting with guys on Facebook that are offering to do something for $30. Like, I don't know how do you make money?
They don't last.
They don't, but the problem is
More
for
pop
everyone
up,
that goes away, 20 of them pop up.
Videography is the same way.
And you
too,
wish
yeah.
you could talk to them because, like, hey, it's okay to make money. Like, you have to make money. To pay people to have a sustainable business that employs people, you have to make profit. Like, it doesn't have to be obscene. It just has to be a reasonable amount of money to cover your butt when things get rough and to make sure you can continue to just stay in the game. It's almost like trading in the stock market. Like, you stay in the game and you just get better. It's like baseball. You hit a base hit, you hit another base hit, you might get a single, you might get a double, you hit a couple home runs one game. That's kind of what this business is like. And you have to be willing to weather that up and down nature of it. And it's not easy to do if you don't have money. Operating from desperation can be good if you're like putting yard signs out 24/7 and you're doing what Matt used to do, right? Like, he really hustled, but most people don't have that in them, and you have to do it other ways. And I luckily delegated our advertising to the right people. I'm not an ads expert, but I know enough now just from talking to my guys every day. I didn't build our website, that cost $6,000. Our first website cost $3,000. Then I think back in 23, I bought another website for $4,000. It's been like this never ending, you have to reinvest it. I just think that people need to know that it's tougher than it's ever been. It's probably not going to get any easier unless we have some kind of roaring 20s type of economic boom. And who knows, maybe we will. You just got to really be willing to sacrifice a lot. And I'm not a believer in trying to do 20 different things. I opened up a painting company for about 6 months back in 2021. We did well, but I lost a little bit of momentum on the junk side because I was no longer fully bought into junk, and I thought we were way better off than we were. And so I've learned that you really have to narrow down what you want to do. I'm not a big side hustle guy. I'm not like you guys were asking me before the show about selling stuff. It's not my specialty. And I actually, to be frank with you, I don't feel comfortable with the idea of selling something that somebody paid me to get rid of. Does that make sense? Maybe that's right. Maybe that's wrong. I'm not a big believer in,
I can understand.
Like, it just doesn't feel right to me. It's like, hey, like, we'll treat it good. We'll try to donate it. My employees are allowed to take whatever they want. So if they find a weight set or if they find a couch, I let them go ahead, drive it to your house, do what you got to do, Matt, get it over there, drop it off. But part of me is so focused on just the customer that I don't want to spread out anymore to, I don't want to sell stuff. I don't want to get a side hustle doing this.
That makes sense.
Now, maybe in a year when the business is in a place where I can step away, that's when I might open business number 2, right?
Yeah.
But right now, no, not yet.
Yeah, I think
So focus 100% and only do it if you're in a position where you can go without paying yourself and your family's going to be okay.
Yep.
And if you're not, a job, everybody vilifies jobs. Everybody, entrepreneurship is great, but we've glamorized it to the point where it can get ugly. You're stressed. I got a blood test 2 years ago. My cortisol levels were way beyond, like by magnitudes of 3 or 4, what they should be for a normal individual. So I probably started losing a little bit of hair, and you have to really be okay with stress. And there's nothing wrong with a job. There's nothing at all wrong with a job. $100,000 in your own income with your business is probably less take-home pay than $100,000 salary.
It's 100%.
Way less.
Definitely.
What am I saying? It's like way less. So you have to really make a lot of money to actually have a decent lifestyle. And having a job where you can turn it off at 5 p.m. every day, and go home to your family is not a bad thing. So
I agree. Yeah.
weigh your options. Don't be afraid of working either way. Does that answer? Is that a good answer? I don't know.
Hell yeah, dude.
A little negative. I hope it's not too negative.
No, I think it's real. I mean,
it's a real
yeah,
answer.
yeah.
There's been strains in our relationships with family. I mean, I miss my family. I don't miss the East Coast, but I'm lucky if I get home once a year.
Mhm. Me too. Yeah.
I hate flying. That's part of it.
Okay.
It's not hard to get home, but I hate flying. Absolutely hate it. So, you got to be willing to sacrifice a lot.
How competitive are you?
Mhm.
Because I could feel a little bit of
I know you're talking
that part
crap
of
on
you.
Quick Trip.
We'll take a road trip. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll pay for it. We'll go and you'll.
I'll
you'll
have to check it out. I'll have to check it out.
Competitive. I played in a kickball league in Castle Rock, and it was you had to play with a cup of beer in your hand, right?
yeah.
I got kicked out of a game.
Okay.
Me and my friend got kicked out of a game over kickball because we were arguing over a call with the ref. And yes, I'm competitive.
I get it. Yeah.
Very competitive.
I hit a nerve a little bit there. Yeah.
I love competition. I would say I'm the Michael Jordan of junk removal and kickball.
Nice. There you go.
There we go. I love competition. You have to be really competitive,
Mhm.
but in a friendly way. Like I talk to Andrew at COS Hauling every day. Hey, what'd you do today, man? Blah blah blah. Well, get better, bro. Hank
There you go.
talks.
Nice.
We talk all the time, but you got to stay competitive, and you hit a nerve, man. Sheets is so much better than Quick Trip.
It's so funny that you say that because the last time we talked about Quick Trip was
I got to check this out.
it was
man.
with Andrew on his episode.
That is wild.
It
I
was-
did not watch that episode.
It was
by the
on
way.
his episode, and he agrees Quick Trip is good. So
So where's the nearest Quick Trip?
it's in Monument right now.
Baptist.
Yeah.
Baptist Road.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's out right off Baptist Road, and it's a
So
new one.
but like Baptist Road is the one that runs along the highway, right?
Yep.
It
there's-
goes perpendicular.
So it's right
you can
off
get
of
to it.
25. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's right off of 25.
Yeah.
It's a new one, but they're also building one right off Academy, which I'm excited for.
Is that where the Whataburger is up there? Is that Baptist?
I don't think so.
That
No,
is
further.
Baptist.
It's further north than
Further
that.
north.
Yeah.
So it's off 105.
So Baptist is the border of Colorado Springs. Baptist
Okay.
Road.
I
So
did not know
it's
that,
literally
yeah.
the border. So it's like on
Mhm.
the border of Colorado Springs.
I'll check
on
it
the
out.
west side of the interstate.
And it's funny because the same complaints you had about all the gas stations here was the same things I had. Because Quick Trip, they will handle 2 people at a time.
Yeah,
they don't mess around.
That's
you
their
know?
moniker is actually doing 2 at 1.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so it's like
2 lanes at one person.
They don't make people wait around because at Maverick and at 7-Eleven, I'm waiting around a lot too, and I'm like, what is going on?
It's funny. Why are gas stations so important to our lives? But
I know, right? Honestly, yeah,
it's actually kind of sad.
Third
that
world problems. You
As
know?
a society, we are arguing over what gas station is better.
I just love Quick Trip.
I'm just gonna tell you, man. If you ever make it to like Philadelphia or whatever, Pittsburgh, because it's
Mhm.
big in Pittsburgh, try Sheets out and let me
I
know. If
gotta
you don't
try
like
it.
it, I'll reimburse you for it. But it's just not even comparable.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
I've
It's
never
just
even
not-
been to the whole east half of the country. Actually.
Really?
Yeah, I got to
You're,
check.
you're not missing a ton.
That's what
honest
that's
to
what
God.
some
The
people say.
beaches down south are great. The Northeast, I love the people. The weather's terrible.
Mhm.
You really have to like snow and,
Yeah.
and darkness, and I'm just not that kind of guy.
I
So
feel you, yeah.
what else we got?
Dude.
What else, man?
I love this has
What
been
can we argue about? I
Yeah,
love this.
yeah,
Yeah,
let's
it's
go.
great.
I'm very argumentative, or not that word, but
It's just
Yeah.
you're not going to win this one.
okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You know what I love about this specific interview is like it felt like a podcast going back and forth banter.
That's
Like
funny.
that's the best part. And I know this is like one of the first ones that you've done, but
It
you've done a
is the
great
first
job.
one.
By the way.
This is the first anything like this I've
Oh,
done.
nice. Not even a video call or a Zoom call?
I've done I think we did a 30-second commercial. My SEO company back when I first built the website the first time.
Uh-huh.
We actually, funny enough, we had a storage unit up on Baptist. I think it was Baptist, in Monument. That's
Mhm.
where I kept my first truck. And so we did a quick 30-second interview that you might find floating around Facebook sometimes when we run our ads. But
Okay.
yeah, this is my first any kind of TV interview. I think when I was a kid, I might have been interviewed for a baseball game back in like T-ball, maybe. I can't
Okay.
remember. And I think my uncle back on my dad's brother, I love him, great guy. He had an ad agency on the East Coast, and he still does. I was in a bank commercial when I was a really little kid. Like I guess my cousin and I were jumping across like a bed for some kind of
Commercial.
NBT bank back home. One of those like, hey, we're family here at the bank kind of things.
I'll find it and I'll put it in the hook.
You will not find that.
I'll find
Dude, it was like
I'm finding-
1998,
I'm finding it.
1999.
We'll find
If you find that, I will literally pay you. 'Cause
Okay. Nice.
I'm going to have to talk to my uncle about that one to see if I could find it, because
sure.
you won't find
I don't
it, bro.
think
It's
I will,
not.
yeah.
I don't think the internet existed when that first came out, to be honest with you. When the internet come out, 95, 96,
Yeah.
97?
92.
Early 90s.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was
It
98,
didn't become
99.
popular until like the late
Oh,
90s though.
That's funny, man. How do I remember that too? I don't know how I remember that, but
Dude, this has been great, man.
Has it?
Thanks
Good.
so much
Good,
for
man.
coming
Yeah.
on the show. We really appreciate it. Again, thanks for sponsoring and just helping
Yeah.
us do what we do and making us scale to the size that we're getting to. So
good, man. You
much
guys made me
appreciated
laugh
you.
a lot too.
I love
It was
it.
a fun time. It was totally different way than I thought it was going to go.
That's
We
great.
want- we want the audience to get to know you, man.
Sheets and
Yeah.
quick trip, but I'm telling you, we'll take a road
We'll
trip.
see it. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. You know what I'm gonna do? Next time I'm in Pennsylvania, I'll bring you back nachos from Sheets.
Nachos are my. That's
From
my,
Sheets. They're
Did
the
you know
best, man.
nachos are my test? My test for like restaurants.
Love
like,
nachos, bro.
When I go to a new restaurant, I get the nachos just to see how they do it. You know.
who has the best nachos in town?
I don't even know, man.
Right? It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Have you guys been to My Neighbor Felix up at Briargate?
I haven't.
Yeah.
no.
Shops, yeah.
I have been in the one in Denver, but not the one in Shops.
I'm sure it's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, same chain.
Yeah.
Great nachos. Dos Santos downtown.
Yeah.
I don't think they have traditional nachos, but they have chicken tinga chips.
Okay.
Love those. They're fantastic. But I'm open to suggestions.
Yeah.
I'll leave it open. You tell me.
I mean,
I'll go.
I love every different restaurant has a different way they approach it. Like
Yeah.
usually based off of like
Yep.
what their theme is. Like
Yep.
Joe's Crab Shack. They don't have one in town anymore, but they would put lobster in their
And nachos.
in their nachos. Yeah. So it's like I don't know. It's just a
Seafood
different.
nachos. Yeah.
It's just
I
a
love-
different vibe
oh,
everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of something specifically, but yeah, I
That's good,
I just love testing it out. You know.
Yeah. I'm a big nachos guy.
Yeah, me
No doubt
too.
about it,
Yeah.
yeah. Scranton, actually, you'd be surprised. Really good Mexican food, as
Really?
well as Italian. Yeah,
That is
like
interesting, yeah.
phenomenal. Controversial, but I'll say I still haven't found a place as good as this one specific place back home out here for tacos.
For tacos.
You guys have great tacos overall, but I'm still waiting. This
Okay.
place put cheese between two shells, and then
Taco
built
Bell
it.
does that.
yeah, no, it's not Taco Bell. No,
The double
funny.
stack.
Yeah, that's funny. I had a great time.
Yeah, Fred.
Yeah.
Well, this is your
I
camera
hope
right
I
here,
gave you
man.
enough content. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
dude, plenty.
how you doing,
This is your camera right
man.
here, man. Where can we find you?
guys? Well, you don't want to find me, but you can find Junkin Hall at www.junkinhall.com or call us at 719-466-0198.
Awesome.
It's
Yeah.
crazy you got Junkin Hall, the domain
When
for that. Yeah.
you know, are we still being filmed?
Yes.
I had to mug somebody for that. No, I'm kidding. There was actually a company in town, and I did not know this when I got started. Somebody had a Junkin Hall in town like 5 years before I was here. I had no idea. But the domain was like $10.
Oh,
It was like, I don't know. Looking back, it's actually a really catchy domain. Like,
Yeah.
it's not 100 got junk. It's not Junk King. But I'll tell you what, junkinhall.com, it just rolls right off the
It feels
tongue.
like it would have
It's-
gotten taken in the
Yeah, dude.
2000s. You know,
I just came up with it. I'm like, sure, whatever.
yeah.
You know, there were some stupid names I was throwing around. I'm like, but this got to be simple. And I want it to be something that, like, if we ever did expand,
Franchise or
like
whatever.
Junkin Hall Denver, Junkin Hall Texas, Junkin
Right.
Hall Oklahoma,
Mhm.
you know, Junkin Hall Anchorage. Like, it's pretty
That's great, yeah.
easy. You know, like sometimes I see some companies, it's like, you know, Little Rogers, Little Red Van Junk Removal LLC, like too much, you know. I love simple.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah,
All right. Well, this has
We're
been the
done.
COS Business Podcast, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
nachos too, and gas stations.
That was good, brother.